I haven't looked into it enough to give a definitive opinion, but he's saying that the AI limiters are actually the ones who are going to be the vectors of the Antichrist and bring him into the world, because they're going to use the limitation of AI as a pretense to control all information or something like that. And he said something recently like Greta Thunberg is like an agent of the Antichrist because she's trying to like go against AI or because the environmental impact. Like that's the angle he's taking, more or less. You could ask Thiel like this rhetorical question, but where does innovation spring from?
Yes.
Does it emerge in a vacuum? If it does, then why doesn't it just happen all the time? If the culture is not aligned, if it's not capable of producing innovation qualitatively, you have a problem. Innovation won't occur. You have to ask the question then, how do we calibrate the culture? How do we bring it to that point? It's not the innovation that leads to the cultural conditions. It's the cultural conditions that produce the innovation.
Yes.
I think in his view, he has it backwards.
Yes.
And that's a problem because innovation just won't happen in a vacuum. If it requires a certain precondition, then of course you need those preconditions in order. It's that simple. I think these technologists, they sort of take for granted the innovation that the West has experienced for 400 years. Like they really do. And they see it as something natural or inherent, a neutral reality that just happens. And not something that emerged very peculiarly in the West, very idiosyncratically in the West. Natural philosophy, which became science, was downstream from a very particular philosophical worldview that only occurred in the West. That's just the reality of it. If that worldview hadn't existed in the exact way it did, in the time that it did, leading to the conditions for the later natural philosophers or early scientists to innovate and come up with the ideas that they did, we wouldn't see this type of technological progression. If you didn't see a change in the social, cultural values of the West at the time that gave primacy to these empirical innovations and saw empirical reality as the reality, as a cultural value, you wouldn't see the technological innovations. The whole point with that is to say, to have innovation in the first place, it requires that carefully calibrated cultural situation or framework. Without that, and if that's degraded, which it may very well be, you won't have the innovation at the same time. They take it for granted that it's already happened and therefore will just happen as a natural fact of the world. And that's impossible.